Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, the first one, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I am a woman who is currently staying here in Johannesburg, and I have my confession that I wish to share with you. I went to Dragon City, then I bought some sneakers there, and these are running sneakers that I bought for my big sister's son. He is back in Zim, but my sister, she is back now in South Africa. She had a big fight with her husband. Then for a while, she went back home. She said that she just wanted to relax because they had been fighting for a very long time. So before she had that big fight with her husband, my sister, she used to go around gossiping in the location that we are staying, telling people all the bad stuff about me, saying that I even tried to destroy her marriage once, because what happened was that my mom, she once told me to go to the city and stay with my sister. This happened when we were still back home in Zim. So I went, and then I started to stay with my sister. So my sister started to think and to suspect that I was sleeping with her husband, because she was working at a bakery at that time. So she would work night shift. So whenever her husband will start to fight with him, she would think that it was me who was sleeping around with her husband. And she even convinced one of this other guy that I was dating to dump me, because she thought that I was sleeping with her husband. So the grudge that was there between me and my sister, it goes a very long time ago, and me and her, we had been fighting ever since that time. So she was the first one to come to South Africa with her husband. When she came, I also spoke with her, and I told her that they were supposed to look for a job for my husband so that I can be able to also come to South Africa and to look for a job later on. And then they agreed. When my husband came, my sister did something that was really evil. She knew that my husband was sleeping around, but she did not even inform me. Even a single day did she even inform me. I then came to South Africa. When I came to South Africa, without any knowledge of what was happening, then I started to sleep with my husband. For years, my husband, we did not use any protection at all, and then I started to get sick. When I went to the clinic, then they told me that they could not give me any medication unless if they tested me and they wanted my partner. Me and my husband, we then went to the clinic, and then that was when they tested us, and both of us, we were HIV positive. 2 years I had spent in Zim without sleeping with any man, but my husband, when he came here, he had gotten HIV. So later on, that was when I discovered that my sister, she knew about this. My sister would even be friends with those women that were sleeping around with my husband as if they were her little sisters. So I had this deep hatred for my big sister, because I blamed her for me being HIV positive. If she had told me that my husband had been sleeping around, I would have broken up with my husband a very long time ago. So then what happened, when I now knew about my status, I chose to forgive him, but then she kept on doing what she used to do, to gossip about me, saying that I break marriages and I used to fight with a lot of women, until I said that enough is enough. And my sister had gone home at that time. So my sister as her son, who used to be very talented, and he used to be a good marathon runner. Most of the people, they used to say that he would go places to even represent Zim one day at the Olympics, because he was very good at running those long distances. He always became number one, even at national competitions, even though he was still very young. So then I went to Dragon City, and when I was moving around, I just wanted to buy something for my mom. I had no intentions for buying anything for my sister or for her child. But then I saw the running sneakers. They were not like your fake originals. These were like fake, but they were very good quality. I then bought them. After I had bought them, a thought crossed my mind, and I said, how about I go to Ivory Park and I speak with this other red garment prophet that I know, and I have heard stories about him. Even if you want someone to die, you can go to that red garment prophet, just saying the name, you will know what to do. I then went to Ivory Park. When I got there, I told him everything that had happened, and the prophet then told me that my sister herself, she deserved to die, but we were going to take all of her sins and we were going to put her sins in her son's life. And this was what we decided to do. He then took those running shoes from me, and he had so many needles that he had, and he then started to stick those needles. I think it was maybe about 100 of them. He then said, don't just sit there, I want you to assist me as well. I then took the left shoe, and then I started to take the needles that were inside a dish. It was a lot of them inside a plastic dish. Then I started to stick those needles one by one until we were finished. When we were finished doing that, that was when he said that we were supposed to go to the bushes. We went to the bushes. It was only me and him. And then he said that in order for this charm to work, even though it was a holy prayer, he said that we have to do something. I don't know if you are willing to do this with me. So he was embarrassed to tell me that he wanted to sleep with me. I then said, man of God, you say that you want to sleep with me, but I am HIV positive. He then said that his manhood is so blessed, even if he sleeps with a woman that has HIV, nothing will ever happen to him. I said, okay, if that is what you want, there is no problem. So then I took that red garment. After I had taken the red garment, then I spread it on the ground, and then I slept. Me and him, we slept together without using any protection at all. He had a red cloth that he had, and then he said that when we were done, I was supposed to wipe him. I did as he had instructed me to do, but not like using my hands. He told me to bite it, and then I had to wipe him using my mouth. If you understand, that is what I did. When I was done, he told me to slip back on the big red garment that he had told me to buy, and I did so with my legs wide open. He knelt down, and then he also put the same small cloth in his mouth, and then he started to wipe me using his mouth, and then he took it and he put it inside the sneakers. From there on, we then looked for a thorny bush. When we found one, that was when he threw the sneakers into that thorny bush, including the red garment. He then said, come, let us walk around and let us look for a long stick. We then looked for a long stick, and I asked him the reason as to why we had done something like that, to throw those sneakers inside a thorny bush. He then said that throwing these shoes inside the thorny bush, it means that this is where we have placed your sister's son's life. It is going to be a very painful life that he is going to live. So we have to struggle to take them out, and the same way that we are going to struggle to take them out of the thorny bush, that is the same way that he will struggle when he wants to find someone that can assist him. So we did so. We took about 10 minutes when we were trying to take out those shoes in the thorny bush where we had thrown them into. So then after that, we cleaned them, removed the needles, and then I went to Zim. I gave my sister the shoes. They were still brand new. She did not even suspect anything. And then she gave her son to wear those shoes. What happened after that, when I had returned back to South Africa, I received the news that my sister's son, when she was in the CBD in Harare, that was when she was crushed by a car. This car, it was safely parked somewhere, but when her son was just standing by the side of that car, and then the car started to move on its own and crushed him on his foot. And to this very day, he uses a crutch as well as a wheelchair. He can't run in that situation that he is in right now. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? That is the grudge that she holds against her own sister. And this was the full confession after she had sent us the confession, when she said that she bewitched her sister's son. And I asked her why she did something like that. And then she gave me the full confession. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. The message that was sent to us, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? If you still remember me, I once came to you and I told you that I was looking for a boyfriend, and then you gave me phone numbers of this other man that I started to speak with. It was nice because this man, I then found out that he was also staying here in Johannesburg. We spoke with each other through video calls for about 2.5 weeks because I was scared to just go and meet him before I could get to know him. So after that, that was when we decided that it was time for us to meet because of the things that we were doing on WhatsApp. You know, as adults, we started talking about naughty stuff and we would help each other. And this made me to want to be with him. He also told me that he also wanted to be with me. So then I decided to go to town, and then I met him. And when we were in town, I saw that this guy, he was a very nice guy. He was calm, and I loved him for that. He then convinced me to go with him to his house. So then we went to his place in the location where he was staying. Since this was the first time for us to meet, I was embarrassed to just remove my clothes in front of him, and he was also embarrassed. So we waited until it was dark. We were just talking, pretending as if we do not want to sleep with each other. When it was dark, that was when I then got the courage to remove my clothes, and I rushed straight into bed, and then he followed me. We then started kissing, touching each other, doing romance, and everything was fine. Even when I was holding his manhood, I knew that I was going to enjoy him because he was so nice. And when it came time for us to sleep with each other, what surprised me was that the moment that he took a protector that he wanted to use, he tried to put it on his manhood. He felt, and I had to help him as well, but still I felt as well. So what was happening was that his manhood that was so stiff, now it was so soft, it was unable to perform its own job, and he was very embarrassed about what was happening. So me and him, we tried to do romance again. He would get stiff, but the moment that he would try to put on the protection, then it will just go soft. So then he said to me, maybe it is because it wants us to do it raw without using any protection. And I said, no, we can't do that because you and I, we did not get our blood tested. Let us not do that. So I left his house because of the way that we were talking to each other. And then I returned back home. It was around 10 p.m. on that very same night. So this is what happened when I went to see the guy that you gave me the phone numbers. But this is not the full story. Hence, I have come here because I need advice from your listeners if there is anyone that understand what might be happening to me. So what happened, Brother Nashi, is that I started working as a maid when I was only 13 years old. My auntie told me that there was one of a friend who had shops as well as some taverns that she had, and she was looking for a maid. So what I did was that I then left the village and I came to the city, even though I was still very young. So we were really poor. There was nothing much that I could do at school anyway. So my parents encouraged me to go and work. So when I arrived in the city, I then started working for those people. One thing that they told me was that there was this other room that I was never supposed to open no matter what. They told me that this was a room that belonged to their daughter, but this girl, she was my madam boss's daughter that she had before they had gotten married. So she came during the Christmas holidays. When she came, that was when she said that she does not want to use that room because she would come and sleep with me every night. I then asked her why she did not want to sleep in that room. She then said whenever she enters into that room, there is a man that will come to her and this man will end up sleeping with her. Therefore, she did not want to sleep in that room. I then said, okay, it's fine. So me and her, we then started to sleep together in the room that they had given me to sleep in. And when she left one day, this was the following year when I had turned 14, I was busy cleaning. I was home alone, and then I heard that there was someone that was walking around and the door was open to the spare bedroom. When I looked, I thought that maybe it was a thief. I was still very young, and then I took the mop and I said, that thief, I want to beat that thief with a mop. So then I grabbed the mop and I started walking in the hallway, and when I got to where the spare bedroom door was, I then looked and I saw something that I had never thought I would ever see in my entire life at Tokoloshe. So when I looked the first time around, all that I saw was a snake. So I thought that maybe it was a normal snake that was moving around in that room. But then I looked again and I saw that there was a clay pot, and this clay pot, it was wrapped around in a red cloth. And then I saw the Tokoloshe. This Tokoloshe, it was resting against that clay pot. And this Tokoloshe, it was very short and it had long beard. And it was resting also on the snake that was moving around. And then the snake looked at me and the door shut on its own. So I got so scared. I screamed and I started to run out of that room. And the moment that I went outside on the lawn, that was when I saw my madam boss. She drove into the yard with her husband. They were so angry at me. Why they were angry at me, I do not even know. That was when they said that they were going to fire me. I started crying, and then they said that they were going to give me my salary, my whole year's salary. They were going to give it to me because they did not want me to suffer by the time that I would have returned back to the villages. They counted the money that I was going to work for the whole year, and then they gave me the money and they took me to the bus rank. They left me in the bus and I returned back to the village. When I returned back to the village, I did not tell my mom the whole story. I just showed her the money that my bosses had given to me, and then that was when my mom then said, let us use this money to start a business. And the business that we were going to start, it was a business of buying milk from the villages, and then we would return back to the city and we would sell that milk. This was what we were doing until me and my mother and my siblings, we finally moved into the city because now we could afford to pay rent. And I kept on working as a maid, and now I am here in South Africa. This is where I am working right now. So what has brought me is that I want your listeners to help me out. Am I the one who has the problem, or is the problem being caused by the things that I saw that were spiritual that I was not even supposed to see in the first place? When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. And the other thing that I also want you to do for me, please, when you read my confession, send out this message as well. If that man that you gave to me, if he hears this confession, Please, I am begging him to speak with me because he still has my phone numbers. I know. I just want him to understand that what happened on that night, I was not trying to blame him. He is not the one to be blamed. I hope that after him hearing my story, he will be able to take me back because I want to build a home. I want to have a family. I want to have a husband and kids. I just do not want to be alone anymore. Please send the message. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. And to you, our brother, if you are still listening to our programs here on our channel, the woman that you were with is still trying to get hold of you. She wants you to talk to him. Please try to speak with him so that you can see what the two of you can do and come up with. Let us try to speak with our dear sister. She is asking the things that happened, the things that she saw that were spiritual in nature. Are those the things that is causing everything that is happening to her? Let us try to speak with him in the comment section.